Good morning everyone, it's Yvonne here to do your bonus reading. I was just having a little chuckle. Tilly, the second youngest of my grandchildren, I've now got Vance, and Vance is only probably about a month old now. But Tilly, the one before, is a very different child to the rest of her siblings. So there's 5 children in my daughter's family. And Tilly is very different. She's a Sagittarius and she's proving to have all of the traits of a Sagittarius, which is really beautiful. The other day, my daughter's so used with the other kids, they never got into anything, they never did anything sort of untoward. So my daughter's got quite casual about leaving things around and has to really now pick up her act because Tilly seems to find things quite easily. So about 2 or 3 weeks ago, Sarah had sent me a little video and showing me that Sarah said I was busy cooking a dinner and she was in the lounge room with her father, but I don't think her father noticed what she was doing. But she found the pseudo cream. Now, if everybody knows what pseudo cream is, it's sort of a cream you put on babies' bottoms that if they're sore, but it's a very good cream for rashes and scrapes and whatever else, and it's white, like zinc cream. And my daughter had sent me this video of her like absolutely covered in zinc cream. And I think that my daughter may have got a little bit casual about things again, or Tilly has a little bit of a propensity for pseudo cream, because I got another one yesterday, only this time my daughter was calling her the Phantom of the Opera because she was just absolutely covered in this zinc cream and had been eating it again. So it was quite interesting. She went back for a second helping, but I couldn't help thinking it must have tasted all right for her to go back and have another go at it. So I have 2 videos now with her doing that, but it's absolutely delightful. But just goes to show how kids are so very different. And Sarah had got so, I guess, nonchalant about leaving the pseudo cream around because nobody had ever touched it before, and her daughter's now done it twice. So I had a really good laugh because my daughter came on and said, pseudo cream part 2. And that's what I was just having a giggle at. All right, let's get into this bonus read. We have the 9 of Pentacles jumping out. I feel like the 9 of Pentacles has been the card of the week. There's always one card that Spirit just keeps putting out there. And this week it's been the 9 of Pentacles. And I feel like when we're seeing a card over and over again, it is some sort of lesson for us to stand in our own energy, stand in our own truth. So if you've been doing the work or you haven't been doing the work, this is a little reminder to you to remember that you are strong, independent, self-sufficient, and you are an incredibly beautiful version of yourself. But maybe it's a little reminder to you to make sure that you're standing in your own truth at the moment. A little reminder that says to me, you've come a long way. Look back at how far you've come, because you may be tested on this. Because it's coming out quite a lot, I feel like something is coming up where it may test you to see how far you've come. I feel like Spirit does that a lot. It's like sometimes my spirit guides have a good giggle at me when I do this, but sometimes we just get those little tests to see if we've remembered to set healthy boundaries, or we've remembered how to put ourselves first, or we've remembered, there's another one there, that we've remembered who we are. Because sometimes we can do all the work and we can feel really, really good, and something can take us back, and before we know it, we've sort of slipped back into some sort of old habit or bad habit. So I think that's just a little, oh yeah. Okay, now I understand. The Strength card is about taming your inner demons, and we've all been on this journey. We're all part of the same collective. So when people say to me, how do readings resonate with lots of people? I'm like, we're all on the same journey. We may be at different stages in our spiritual journey. We may be just starting out. We may do things very quickly, may have very quick awakenings or realizations or epiphanies, but we may be taking our time with it too. But the Strength card talks about healing. It talks about taming your inner demons. And what it talks about more deeply is the stuff that sits within your shadow side. Now, I know I've talked about this a few times this week, but the parts of ourselves that we hide away from the world because we are ashamed of them, or because we don't feel comfortable being who we truly meant to be. So I feel like with that Nine of Pentacles, you're being reminded here, you've done a lot of work on yourself here. Don't slip back into the old patterns and forget the work you've done. So if somebody now says something to you, instead of taking it on board, you will learn how to let it go and how to understand that what other people think of you is none of your business. None of your business at all. It is about them. So if somebody is critical of you, unless it's really healthy sort of feedback, unless it's something that you can really work with, but I always feel you take things on board and you ask yourself, do I need to listen to that? Is there something that I need to work with there? Because sometimes people do give you good feedback, but I'm talking about criticism, criticizing the way you look, the way you talk, the way you are. Those sort of criticisms are not really helpful. So I feel like with the Strength card, you're being reminded of how far you've come. I do have the Knight of Pentacles, whoa, with the Lovers card coming through here, and I feel like I hit the mark before. The Knight of Pentacles talks about being independent, self-sufficient, having all you need materially, as well as, you know, everything in your life being in order. Maybe in the past you have dealt with poor boundaries. Maybe in the past you've allowed people to trample you down. Maybe you have been a little bit of a doormat or a people pleaser, but you've come to terms with that now. You may be seeing it. Remember, people pleasing is not something that, oh, I like to do it because it makes other people happy. It's a trauma response from you. It's a response that says, deep down inside, I avoid conflict. I'm scared of not being loved, so I try really hard to please others to get my validation from outside of myself. Just think about that. So if you're doing something because you love to do it, it's a little bit different. But if you're doing things for people that goes against your grain, then you are being codependent and a people pleaser. So the Knight of Wands is a card that talks about passion and drive. It's a card of very fast movement, fast action, diving into something, getting something done. It's very much the energy of quick, fast, passionate. Now, because of that, the Knight of Wands has earned a reputation of being the player, the non-committal person, the person who rushes in and rushes back out again without committing to something. And I feel like this is what you're dealing with here because I have the Lovers card behind. So I'm feeling here that you may have in the past been swept up into relationships or situations with people because of the way that people have treated you. Now, we all know if you've been in a relationship with someone who has narcissistic tendencies, there is an energy of us being really swept into the charm of people. So really swept into what people can offer because of our shadow side, because it may be something that makes us feel loved, and some people know how to spend that energy on you, getting you interested in them to make you feel whole and complete. And I feel like you have somebody coming in here that is going to sweep you off your feet. But I feel like here there is a caution, especially with that Nine of Pentacles, to stay true to who you are. If you feel like you're dealing with somebody here who doesn't have your absolute best interest at heart, then you need to go into your shadow side and retrieve those parts of yourself that have helped you deal with that past that you've had. The Nine of Cups here. So it is a feeling that somebody is coming in and is going to sweep you off your feet with the Nine of Cups. We do have the full card here with holy dooly. That's a complete repeat of the What's Cracking reading. This person is destined for you. This is a good relationship. This is a solid relationship. But I feel like here, in order to get this off the ground, you cannot forget who you are. You need to set strong boundaries here. I feel like this person is definitely meant for you. Thank you. They've just delivered my groceries. They are definitely meant for you. They are a soulmate, twin flame coming through here. Somebody who is ready for a new start and is part of your destiny. So I want to say to you, whoever this person is coming your way, you need to be strong with your boundaries. You need to speak up for what you want. You needn't be ashamed of telling somebody how you want things to be. There is nothing wrong with that. I often get people coming in to ask me about readings, and they say to me, I've just met this person and I'm not really sure what their intentions are. And I will do the reading, absolutely not a problem. But I always say to them, you need to ask the person what their intentions are. It's no use being 6 months down the road and you say to somebody, I want a relationship, and they went, I'm just in it for the fun. That is no good. You need to set that limit right up front, regardless. But some of us have been taught that that's impolite. You don't do those things with people. You don't ask for those things. Why? Because it benefits the other person. I'm getting a little bit passionate here. But I feel like sometimes we are so molded into what we believe, other people believe we should be. There is nothing wrong with asking what somebody's intentions are. You could do that even on the first date. Are you out for a relationship, or are you just in for fun? Are you playing around? Is this, something that you want for the long term? That is not a personal question. That is asking somebody what their intentions are. But like I always say, be the observer. Watch how they respond to that question. But it's one of the red flags that you need to clear. And those red flags are so important for you to move out the way. I feel like this person coming in for you is definitely good. But I feel like in order to get this relationship off the ground, you've got to assert your own boundaries. You've got to say what you want from it. Da-da, justice. So what this says to me is that the lessons that you have learned have got you to where you need to be. Now you can have a very healthy relationship with someone. You can be equal. You can have equal give and take. Yet Six of Pentacles energy coming through very strongly, where you are having something where you can equally invest with the other person and expect them to equally invest for you. This is very important. The Justice card tells me things have to be even here. So you have to speak up for what you want. If you go into a relationship and you're feeling like you're going to be doing everything for the other person because they're so good looking and they're so gorgeous and I'm so in love with them, I just want to give them everything, be really careful with that, because you need to expect that back again. And that is the balance for that relationship. What it takes is good communication. And we talk about this all the time. If you do not communicate your needs, the other person may not feel that you do need anything, and they may be quite prepared to run the relationship down their own road rather than thinking about what you want. Justice card tells me you've learned this. It is the end of a karmic cycle. All right, Two of Swords coming through. Wow, with the Seven of Cups. See, breaking through an illusion. Strong Libra, Cancer energy coming through here. So you could be dealing with a Libra or Cancer here. But definitely you've cut through some sort of illusion here. So you've learned this lesson. You know what this lesson is. You know how to respond and react. Very, very clear to me that you've understood the lesson here. Now you're being called to put this into action. Somebody is moving towards you very, very quickly here. And you're being called to respond in a way that's appropriate. Appropriate for you. Look at this, High Priestess. King of Pentacles coming through with the Queen of Pentacles. This person for you is coming into union. There is a husband and wife here. There is a union in the making. But in order for this union to move forward, you've got to be prepared to assert yourself and speak up for yourself and say what you need. This all hinges on that. It all hinges on the learning you've had and what's gone before. Six of Cups, definitely somebody from your past here with an offer from the universe. And there it is, boundaries. Very, very clear that if you allow this person to walk over your boundaries, you will be going back to learn more lessons. If you want to work this out with this person, you have got to be prepared to work through this. Now it's funny because I've seen this in some twin flame connections when people have come back into union, how they have to work with each other differently to what they did before. So if the relationship before was very one-sided, for example, you don't want it to go back to that. You don't want to slip into your old victim mentality and just go back to the person you were before. Because this time you have to assert these boundaries. That doesn't always mean physical boundaries as in, like I always say, don't call me after 8 o'clock at night, I won't answer the phone, or my phone's turned off. That's a very strong physical boundary. What we're talking about here is things like over-loving, codependency. You've learned all these in your lessons. And the universe saying, we're going to test you out for this one. If you want this union, you're going to have to remember to put yourself first, regardless. Somebody from your past is returning here with some sort of offer. They want something for the long haul, but you have to remember what you've worked for here. There is some passionate connection coming in very, very quickly with this Lovers card. Somebody who's destined for you here. 9 of Cups tells me a wish is coming true. There is a leap of faith. You have soulmate, somebody coming in with a very strong connection. There's been a period of time in between here, but there is a brand new start with this person, and it is part of your destiny, and here they come. But I can tell you now, all these cards are repeating. Other than this one, these cards are all repeating from the What's Cracking reading. Something very powerful is going down here because it's raising so much passion for me. I feel very, like I need to really sort of say to you, you've got to be ready this time. You've got to be ready. But the only way you're going to be ready is if you've done the learning and you know how to pull yourself forward here, how to put yourself in the race. You can't start off with a handicap. You've got to be right up there with the winner. The boundaries seem to be very important. You have a soul contract with this person. That means that you contracted to do the lessons so that you could come back in together. There's the Star again. So we know it's a destiny. We have death coming through. You have to show that you've changed. 8 of Wands, there's communication coming in from somebody. Things are moving very rapidly. We also have the 5 of Wands, which I feel like some of that was in the What's Cracking reading. The 5 of Wands for me is doubt. It can be a little bit about competition and doubt. But I feel like here, it's saying to you, your 8 of Swords, you are no longer the victim here. You are now the lover. Don't doubt. Don't be scared. Don't be scared to stand up for yourself. Stand your ground here. Because whatever you did in the past is no longer beneficial to you. This time around, you're meeting this person eye to eye. You're equal to this person. Wow, powerful reading. I love it because they stir me all up inside too, all the energies around this. I feel like you've got an opportunity to do something differently this time. Yes, look at this. The Ancient One. So you've got ancestors here. That's why this particular, that reminds me of Empire of the Sun, that one, if you know who they are. All right, let's read this. The Ancient Ones are the shamans of old who defeated death and escaped from the tyranny of time. The Ancient Ones once walked the earth like us in flesh and bone. Now they reside in infinity and can counsel us after we say yes to our calling. They are available to help us attain our full realization. The Ancient Ones are inviting you to reach the future to help birth a new destiny for the earth. Go ahead, find out who you're becoming 10,000 years from now. If you accept the invitation, great power and blessings will come your way and allow you to craft a new destiny for yourself. Do not hesitate to bite off more than you can chew because you've unlimited spiritual resources available right now. Now, I want to read the medicine to you here because I feel like it's part of what I've been saying in this reading. The Ancient Ones beseech you to examine your attitudes and actions and be sure that they are of the highest integrity. Now, I feel like here, because it says, remember, this is no longer your karma. So you've done the karma now, you've completed the cycle. It says you can break the chains that once bound you to the family drama and be free of your generational curses. Forgive the ones you need to release. Honor your biological ancestors by lighting a candle to them. I feel like here this is about releasing that karma by showing. I feel like this union is really important to the universe. I feel that it's something that you're doing going forward here and repairing and nurturing relationships to bring them round instead of continuing the abuse within relationships. So you've done the work, you've healed. Do not go back to those old patterns. You have your ancestors on side here trying to help you to move through this energy so that you don't repeat old patterns. So you have an opportunity to get something beautiful off the ground here. I'll leave you with that. Thank you.